Hello, dear viewers. Welcome. Quick health check. Y'all doing okay? I know the holidays are like officially over now. We're like a week into the new year, so I think I think the holidays are behind us. Right? We're kind of just like back in the daily grind of things. So I hope you're doing all right. Just take a little mental check. Make sure you're good. Today, we're going to talk about 2022 goals, or just yearly goals in general, and why it's maybe beneficial to like write them down or just kind of put them out there to help realize or actualize them, manifest them into existence, whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna share mine with you, and maybe if you want to do it along with me, you're more than welcome to. It's a good practice for you. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm not going to make you do it, obviously, but I think it's a good practice in terms of just kind of helping center yourself and refocusing after a lot of distraction, right? And it's the beginning of the year, and there's a lot of corporations that are willing to sell you products that'll help you narrow in on your annual goals, if that's probably health related, if that's what you're after. So it's just a good time to do it. You know, it's a good time to do it. So let's talk about 2022 goals. And I know this may not sound that exciting, but it is kind of going to touch on some topics that maybe you're interested in regarding to me and my channel and what I do here. So maybe you'll hear something of interest. I don't know. First and foremost, I think I think as a YouTube partner, this one more or less speaks to me, and that is this: I want to find balance with content that I upload. I know, the YouTuber wants to feel more confident with what he's uploading. The purpose behind this statement is that I want to be able to not feel pressured to release content that is maybe reactionary. For example, when the banner comes out, I want to be able to feel comfortable releasing that next day, like next afternoon. The majority of you watch my videos between like 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern time, my time. So I would like to correspond to that with the videos that I put out, rather than, when daylight savings is not a thing, put out a video that's at like midnight or like 1 a.m. When, no one's going to see it. But I have the mental block that says, well, if I don't put it out right now, it's not going to be relevant in 10 hours and people aren't going to care. And I don't know that that's true. It's just something that I've always felt. So I don't want to feel that way anymore. And not only that, if I'm releasing on a regular schedule, I could probably do more constant daily uploads. It's kind of the only way I've been able to do it so far, in that I do daily uploads, but also the reactionary stuff has been same day. So sometimes it's double uploads, and then sometimes there's a live stream in that day too. And then YouTube stops pushing my stuff to people because they're like, this guy's spamming everybody. And, it doesn't help me. So I want to try and find a balance to that. And just have general mental freedom to be able to upload when I want to, when it would be more intentful to do so, rather than thinking like, oh, well, if I don't give my reaction immediately, no one's going to care. And so I don't want to feel like that. And so we're going to test some things. Like the Joshua reaction that was delayed by like a day or something, not a day, like a couple hours, right? I put it out the next afternoon. And I don't really think it made a big difference, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. 2, while we're on the content hype train, I want to make live streams more purposeful. And what I mean by that is I've had the mentality of I have to go live no matter what. Even if it's me just sitting on my hero's homepage for like 3 hours, I have to do it. And while it's true, I feel like members specifically enjoy live streams, right? I I don't want to put out garbage live streams. I don't. But I do want to keep streaming. So I'm thinking 2 to 3 streams a week, which I was doing 3 to 4. So cut back on that a little bit. And then maybe have a concept of, you know, a plan, which is kind of a wacky idea. But most of the time last year, when I was doing 4 live streams a week, I didn't have a plan sometimes. And then I did the monthly schedule, and I was like, okay, well, this gives me a rough roadmap to what I want to do and what the streams will be. But even then, I didn't really have like a solid plan. I just had like a one themed idea that I somehow still had to fill out like several hours worth of live stream content. Now, and you may notice, so far this month, I've gone in with objectives and actual segments that we're gonna do when we live stream. And sometimes it's Heroes, sometimes it's Genshin. I don't really know what else I would stream. Maybe something with Jenna. Who knows? But the point is that I want to make them more purposeful and less just filler. And I think I was approaching them wrong. If you like me just being live, sorry. I want to make content that's maybe a little more enjoyable for everyone. And I think going live for the sake of going live is not a good approach to that. So I'm going to make live streams more purposeful, and I've already started doing that to an extent. So I'm going to keep exploring that. Number 3, while we'll just focus on the YouTube stuff now and get that done with. I want to get a sponsor for the love of all things. And it's not just because I want to get that bag. I do want to get that bag, but it's not just because I want to get the bag. I want to be less reliant on things like AdSense and memberships. I want to be less viewer dependent. And I think most creators feel that way. You know, like I feel like most people would take a brand deal over a Patreon thing because they don't want to like milk their viewer base or their fan base or whatever. And that's how I've always felt. It's why, you know, I stopped doing the Patreon thing. It's why my memberships are very base cut. Like, this is what you get, but you're also going to get extra stuff. Like, I don't like the idea of having my viewers fund me. And so, I want to get to the point I am attractive enough to other brands that I could use my channel and my reach for sponsorship to help fund other things. Crazy, I know. Not to mention AdSense revenue is very fluctuant. So, you know, November, December, October, even maybe good months. February, March, dead. So, you know, it's like I have an annual budget, but I don't, because it's all variable. But there's an insecurity that lives there that just makes it kind of scary, I guess, for the most part. But beyond that, I think just getting a sponsor, just any sponsor, learning that side of YouTube would be very helpful. And so that's something that I want to get experience with, and also become less reliant on, you know, my viewer base to help fund the things that I do on the channel. So overall beneficial to everybody, I think. There are some metrics that I like to hit for YouTube, but I'm not going to put them in the goals because I'm not really capable of obtaining that. Like, I'm going to focus on putting out the content and hope that it follows, like hitting 15,000 subscribers, even though we haven't even hit 10 yet. You know, having like 50 regular members that re-up every month, getting all videos to, you know, an average 4,000 views rather than like the 2 to 3 that we have now. Something like that. All I can do is put the content out. I can't make it work because there are parts of YouTube that are just out of my hand, and I have no control over it. So I'm not going to put them on here this year. I'm just not going to do it because it hurts myself mentally if I do that and then I don't achieve it. And then also people get very upset when I talk about it, and I'm sad, and they're like, "Ooh, you're not grateful." Anyway, 4, open the Cypher Shop. I've been talking about it forever. I'm hopeful that it will happen end of this month, early February. But Jen and I are kind of getting hit by extra stuff at work again. It's crazy how our company relies so much on us, even though we have literally nothing to do with this decision making. Anyway, point being that I'd like to open the Cypher Shop soonish. I won't likely be able to launch all of the stock at once. It'll probably just be like 24 cards at a time, maybe every so many weeks. That's my plan anyway. So we'll probably start with the more popular stuff first, probably the more recent sets first that have like a little bit of everything from it. Stuff like that is my plan. But I want to open the Cypher Shop because, again, the commerce side of things is something that I want to get more acclimated with. And I know that I have friends and acquaintances who have done a lot of stuff like this, so I know it's not impossible. It feels very daunting for me personally, and I want to get over that. So we're gonna open the Cypher Shop. I want to send my closet full of backstock Cypher cards to people who will appreciate them at a reasonable price, rather than the insane price gouging that happens now, because they ended it and now everything is limited. So. Also, I'm gonna have to move at some point. I don't want to have to take several extra boxes of just Cypher cards with me. That sounds like a chore that I want nothing to do with. Another thing that I know is possible, but I have no idea how it's done. I want to figure out how to make merch, because I've been workshopping, not publicly anywhere, but I have been workshopping in notebooks and things like that, like a merch brand concept. It's not KCB related, but it would be owned by me. Kind of like how Cloak is owned by Markiplier Jacksepticeye. That type of thing. Because I know that, like, YouTuber merch, streamer merch, it can be cringe, right? And so I don't want to do that. That seemed like a bad idea to me. But I do have a concept for a lot of the stuff that I do that might reflect well within its own brand. And so I'd like to try and make that some kind of realization, but also have a quality aspect to it. Because, like, I know that I can just go to some website and they will print t-shirts for me. But that sounds bad, and I don't want it to be bad. So I want to maybe we'll put a little there, quality merch. Maybe that's the better way to phrase it. But yeah, that's I don't really know where to start with that. I don't know. Like, I know like Crater Inc. and companies like that. I don't know if they work with like small fries such as myself. But I want to figure out how to do that mostly. That's it's a selfish endeavor, but it's a creative outlet that I want to be able to do. And it's not even so much that I care about like the revenue that it might generate, which would be nice, admittedly. But I have an idea and I want to make it a reality. That's the main drive for me. Whether or not it sells, whether or not people like it, I don't care. If it's not successful, it is not successful. I've had this concept in my head for so long now, and I just want to see it realized, whether or not it's a flop. That's what's driving me. So I'm mostly excited about that one. I'm also the iffiest, if I'm being blunt, about that possibly working out. And then finally, the last one. I only did 6, and there's no limit really to how many of these goals that you can make, but make sure it's reasonably listed, right? Don't make a list of like 80 billion things, if that's possible. I want to take control of my health, so let's bring it back with that mental check that I mentioned earlier in the video. I have been a mess since quarantine. I am back to my heaviest weight that I've ever been. I don't sleep nearly enough or well enough. My sleep schedule is straight up laughable. I don't eat as well as I could because a lot of our stuff is like curbside. right? Even our groceries. Like, I haven't been able to go in and pick out produce for like 2 years now. So it's been a challenge, just adapting to way things that are different. But as sad as it may sound, I feel as though like maybe I have settled into this new way of living, in that, you know, I work from home. I don't really go outside that much. All our shopping is curbside, brought to car. And so I think maybe I figured out a better way to adapt to that. And so because of that, I think it's time for me to take control of my health again. And that is one of, if not my main focuses for 2022. And I know everybody says that, but you know, I'm just looking to get healthier. It's not really so much about hitting a certain weight goal or being able to run, you know, a half marathon without stopping again, or, you know, anything like that. I want to get into a healthier place in general. And so I want to take the steps that hopefully will accomplish that. That's the goal. But I think it's finally time. I have forsaken myself for too long. And I'm not going to do that anymore. And so all of the things above also kind of roll into this as well, like finding balance with content, getting a sponsor, so I'm more financially well off and fit in that regard. Just, you know, just really take control of my life again, because I feel like I haven't been able to. And maybe you felt that way too, and it's okay if you have. Point being, we've all been upset for, you know, the last several years. And if you felt stuck, if you felt like you can't, let me tell you that you can, and that it is possible. And you may have to dig a little deep, maybe even deeper than other people, but you can. And so I know that I can, and so I'm going to. And that is my main goal of 2022, I think, for the most part. But that's what I hope to accomplish in 2022. I hope you did this little exercise along with me, or you will do it sometime in the near future, just to kind of list out all the things that are important to you and the things that you want to do in this next year. Because I have realized that at some point, this is going to get maybe a little dark, there may not be a next year. And so you want to accomplish what you can while you can. And that is a big driving force for me right now. So I'm going to take that fear, I'm going to use it for something good, and hopefully manifest some of this stuff into reality in 2022. So thank you for watching. I know this is a slightly weirder video and something I don't normally do. But we'll be back to normal-ish, relatively content that you're used to, I think, soon. There is a Genshin video that I am just scratching my head at later this week, as well as Ray's birthday is on the 11th. So lots of stuff to come. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Make sure you do this too. It's not mandatory, but you should do it. But that's it for now. So thanks again. Subscribe, come back for more. And until then, I'll catch you next time.